Welcome to Shenzhen in China for a huge game between Japan and Australia in Group B. I'm Julia Montesano and I'm joined by Laurie Chiswick in commentary. Laurie, welcome to you. We just saw New Zealand beat Indonesia by 30 points earlier on in the day. But these two games tonight, well, they could really shape the tournament.
Massive game today for both these teams. A win will guarantee top spot in Pool B, which means an automatic spot in Saturday's semifinal and an extra day off. And more importantly, if China top Pool A, which it is predicted, the winner of today's game will not meet China in the semifinal. That is an additive incentive indeed.
Absolutely right, Laurie. We're now going to welcome both teams out onto the floor, of course, Japan and Australia. We're going to begin with Australia. They've had two 70-plus point wins to begin their tournament, Laurie, and they've just been so impressive, but a big test for them today.
Well, it is, and we would expect that this game will be much closer for Australia than their previous two games against Lebanon and the Philippines. They've shared minutes. The coaches have done a great job in sharing the minutes and scoring, with 8 players scoring in double figures in Game 2 versus Lebanon. Chloe Bibby was a standout with her double-double, 12 points, 12 rebounds in 19 minutes, as was player of the game, Steph Reed, with 14 points and 7 assists.
There is Chloe Bibby rounding out the players on the court there for Australia. They've been excellent so far. The second-ranked team in the world at the moment. Two 70-plus point wins, as we mentioned. Coach Paul Goris, well, he's got them playing a really nice style of basketball. He'd hope to have that continue tonight against another team who plays a great style of basketball in Japan, who are now making their way out onto the floor. Although they've got 2 wins, it's been a bit of an uncharacteristic tournament for them. They'd be happy to make those wins, but only by single digits against Lebanon and the Philippines.
Well, exactly. They're at the other end of the spectrum. They've survived 2 very close thrillers, winning by margins of 4 and 3. They also have been sharing the minutes and scoring load. For me, Takada has been outstanding, averaging 13.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 2 assists, and shooting the ball at a massive 67% from long range. They will need her to lead the way, and they will have to use their speed and tenacity right from the beginning if they want to challenge this number 2 ranked Australian team.
Corey Gaines will know his side needs to improve today to get the win over a red-hot Opals lineup. Let's now pause to hear the national anthems of Japan and Australia.
First, the national anthem of Australia. 奏澳大利亚国歌。Please remain standing for the national anthem of Japan. 请保持竖立，奏日本国歌。 Thank you. Please be seated. Players greeting each other. And both sides players exchange gifts. 请双方运动员相互致意并交换礼物。
We now see the two teams coming together in the middle of the court to exchange gifts. Of course, the massive games don't stop after this. Later tonight, it is China hosting Korea in front of what's set to be a big crowd here at Shenzhen Sports Arena. Right now, all eyes, of course, on Australia and Japan. The second-ranked Australia versus the ninth-ranked Japan. Let's introduce tonight's referees. Always a big occasion for them as well as the players. And tonight, the game will be officiated by Yon Chun-yip from Hong Kong, Yana Nikokosian from Kazakhstan, and Bazar Jassim MJ Al-Suwaidi from Qatar. Let's now welcome the teams onto the floor and see how they will start tonight's game. We're starting with Australia. They've experienced some of the most heartbreaking Asia Cup losses against Japan, so they'll be hoping to flip the script tonight. And their starting five will be Reed, George, Blitzars, Borlays, and Fowler Laurie.
And again, that's who they've been starting with, keeping it consistent. They've had really good input from everybody, but that's a strong starting lineup. And the Opals in the past two games have just come out on fire and really set the tone of the game.
Coach Paul Goris, he's on screen now. A big test for him tonight as the coach of the national team. As I said before, he's got them playing a really nice style of basketball. He's praised their defensive mindedness for their offensive mindedness as well. So he'll be looking to continue that sort of trend tonight because we know Japan, they require a lot of defense. We know they're lights out shooters. And we're going to check out their starters very soon. Last time they met Australia in the Asia Cup, they cruised to a 25-point win. I wonder if they could keep up that momentum tonight with a new look side. Two earlier results in this tournament. A 4-point win over Lebanon and then a 3-point win over the Philippines, who really came at them hard. They're going to go with the same starters: Kono, Mauli, Takada, Tokashiki, and Tanaka.
And Kono has had a really consistent tournament so far. She's really steady. She had 9 points the last game. We talked about Takada at the beginning, just what a superstar she is. But how about Tokashiki and that last second basket she had to win the game against
the Philippines.
The Philippines. Oh my goodness, that was an amazing accomplishment for her, but she is such a legend of the game and will be really crucial in tonight's game.
There is Coach Corey Gades on the screen, a super experienced coach who, of course, won a championship with the Phoenix Mercury in the WNBA back in 2009. He's been with this national team ever since then, just involved in the program, coaches both the men's and women's Japanese teams, so he's got a big job on his hands in both teams. Well, the Tissot countdown clock tells us there's 1 minute until tip-off, Laurie, and what an anxious minute this will be for both teams. It can't be understated how big this game is.
It really is, and I mentioned, you know, it's about finishing top of your pool and getting the coveted spot that you want. Both teams will want to come out strongly. I think Japan will have to improve over their last two games if they want to challenge Australia. But you never know, a game that's challenging against the number 2 ranked team, they could lift for that. And for Australia, well, they haven't been challenged yet, so they're not used to playing any close games, so it'll be interesting to see how they come out of this tip-off.
It's the 9th ranked Japan against the 2nd ranked Australia. Last time these two teams met, it was Japan getting a 25-point win in the 2023 Asia Cup. I wonder what the result will be here tonight in Shenzhen. Welcome to Shenzhen in China for Day 3 of the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. It is Japan and Australia, a rivalry for the ages, taking place right in front of our eyes. And Japan can't get the first shot to fire. This is the Australia running game that we've not come to know this tournament. Borlays misfires on the shot. Japan through Tanaka, their designated point guard. Mauli fouled as she drove in. An aggressive start from Stephanie Mauli. She started this game where she left off against the Philippines. Really aggressive. 6 points she came off that day.
And it's good to see her have that mindset nice and early. I feel like the last 2 games, it's taken her a little while to sort of really get herself into the game. So to see her drive that way, that aggressive, explosive drive, is good for, certainly good for her team.
Plays in Spain at the moment for Casa de Mont Zaragoza. She won gold in 2021 with this team, obviously silver in 2023. Bit of 3x3 experience to boot as well. There's a few 3x3 players out on this court too, for both teams. Reed, coming off a TCL Player of the Game performance against Lebanon. Fowler lights up for 3!
No hesitation from Alex Fowler on that 3-point shot. Japan are mixing it up there. They started in a zone, and after a certain number of minutes or seconds, then they change it into a man-to-man.
Takada was lights out from this range. She's picked up where she left off.
She is just a legitimate superstar, but we see Steph Reed driving in. Again, 2 times down the floor, 2 times attacking the basket for the Opals.
Strong drive here from Steph Reed, and step back at the right moment to get the shot up. And then we look at this, Takada from the corner. Reed knocks down the first free throw. Coming off 14 points and 7 assists against Lebanon, 5 points and 9 assists against the Philippines. Gets the other one as well. Now she has to guard Tanaka, who might go all the way. Gets cut off by Fowler. Great read. George gets to work on Mauli, goes underneath her and finishes on the reverse. Japan looking a bit slow compared to usual, but Takada, it's in the right hands. Kono tries to step back on Reed and ended up getting the ricochet rebound. Tokashiki launches, nails it!
Good patience by Japan, coming up with some second chance opportunities.
It's been a good start from both teams. Reed gets it back. Shot clock in single digits. Finds Blitzovs. Finding a way through and getting one more to come.
It is excellent to see Sarah Blitzovs, the way she's playing right now, the confidence after sitting out for an extended period of time with a serious back injury, the freedom that she's playing with, the movement that she's able to do, and we just saw that on that spin move, is just fantastic to see.
So some early subs for Japan, as has been the theme for most of this tournament. Miyazawa comes onto the floor, as does Todo. Blitzovs converts the N1 opportunity. Todo and Tanaka share it around for Japan. Still with Tanaka. Takada, not this time. Good rebound, Todo. She was undersized there, but found a way through. Tanaka steps back on Fowler.
Wow, that was nothing but net for Tanaka.
And a quick play here from Australia. Borlase, instant response for 83s.
What an answer from Borlase. What a game, what a start to this game we've got.
Two of the best teams in it at the moment, showing just why they are ranked so highly in the world, 2nd versus 9th. Two top 10 basketball teams. Takada over the head of Kayla George.
A little shot fake. Kayla didn't fall for it. And she thought, I'm going to shoot it anyways, Takada.
Blitzers now. Gets it back. Everyone can breathe a little sigh of relief. George, deep three. She can't convert. Borlay's athletic rebound. It just falls out of her hands. Japan ball. Scores tied up 13 apiece.
Well, clearly neither team are showing any nerves in this game. The shooting to start off with the first 4 minutes has been wonderful.
Takada right in the outstretched arms of the Australia captain, Kayla George. Already up to 6 points for the game, the Japanese captain. Playing on her opposite skipper. Kawhi back out there. She was so composed in the last game against the Philippines. Controlled the point really well. Toto stepping back. George claiming the rebound. Borlay's. George. Reed. Kicking it out to Blitzers in the corner. Reed hustled hard, but it ends up with Japan. Takada dumps it back to Toto. Back to Kawhi and Toto. Stepping back. Borlay's catching it, dishing it off to Reed. She has Fowler up ahead of her. She pulls up and knocks it down.
Good decision by Steph Reed. She was assessing the situation the whole way down the court.
Minami Yabu, another hot shooter for Japan, out on the floor at the moment. Australia needs to watch her and Takada for sure, but Kawhi, she's causing problems too. Misses on that occasion. Reed with speed. Fouled as she went through. It's one of the only ways to stop a flying Steph Reed. As Australia make their first subs of the night. Courtney Woods and Chloe Bibby enter the game.
Steph Reed is just so quick, and when she gets a full head of steam, it is hard to stop her.
Here she is with ball in hand. We know in Sydney she was one of the ones not in the team. She paid her own way to be there and support the team. Now she's representing on the big stage. Fowler finishes it off.
Great high-low action.
Bibby swats it away. The long-ranging arms. The Australia players flood back. Reed, hesitation, dumps it to Fowler, just a bit too much on the shot. It's a really nice look. Kawhi. What could she create here for Japan? Dumps it to Miyazawa, who made it look easy.
Well, she made it look easy because she really utilized her body position well. She held off the defender.
It gets taken away from Borlay's.
Good active
Kobayashi out there. Toto. Bibby. 2 double-doubles in 2 games for Chloe Bibby. Fowler still can't make the shot, but does get fouled. Small subs here for Australia, Akuzo, Ellis and Sowa. And for Japan, they brought Hoshi and Kono back into the game. Hoshi in for her first minutes. Foul on Fowler, I should have said before. Kono. Miyazawa gets Akuzo in the air and then passes it off. Hoshi. It's a good bit of passing here for Japan. The shot clock ticking down. The Australia pressure made them crumble.
Well, it was really good movement. You could just see the whole time there the Japan players were moving, but to the Australians credit, they stuck with it, they switched when they had to, and they didn't get lost in any rotations.
Corner. They weren't quite aware of the shot clock. Just 1.6 seconds there for them to shoot.
3 minutes 70.
Corey gave some instructions to his bench there. 3 minutes 17 left in the first. Australia lead this one by 2. We knew it would be a tight contest, and it's delivering. Bibby pulls up from nearly the elbow. Kuzo. There was a foul call as she was passing it off.
And that was a good look inside to Bibby. That's how you need to break a zone, is to get the ball. If you can get it at that elbow area, you can then either shoot it as she did or distribute it really well, but that's the way you break a zone.
Bliss gets it into Akuzo, going to work on Kuribayashi, gets her own rebound, kicks it out to Soa. And Tatina stands tall, takes the one-handed rebound. That's a great battle between her and Kuribayashi. Akuzo used her athleticism. And she goes to the foul line.
Well, we didn't see Akuzo in yesterday's game. She just had a little bit of soreness, but she's certainly fine to go today.
Game 1, she came up with 4.7 rebounds and 3 assists against the Philippines. Already has 3 rebounds for the night here. I think all 3 came with that little patch. Corner now. Happy to slow things down. Japan's patience has been pretty good to start this game. Foot violation. And Japan will again look to their bench and do a swap of the bigs. Tokashi replaces Kuribayashi. And already for Japan, the only player we haven't seen out there is Monica Okoye. So everyone already used pretty much. Hoshi. We know how much space she needs to convert a 3. She can do it in a shoebox. Woods, Soa up ahead. She elects to go to Alice, who then finds Soa, gets around the corner, goes inside and makes it.
Just a nice balanced pull-up jump shot by Soa. She thought about shooting the 3, then changed her mind and was really balanced on that shot.
Kono, Hoshi. Dubs it into Yabu. There was a foul in the midst of it. Woods committed it. See there, just tussling with Tokashi. Rabu Tokashi sort of, definitely a hard player to stop. Gets it into Miyazawa, and then Hoshi goes again. Kono athleticism on the boards. Tokashi thought Hoshi was a little taller there. Had the right idea. Australia lead by 5. Minute 46 left in the opening term. Abby Ellis, she's been fantastic in the green and gold as well. Courtney Woods, could say the same for her, and for Soa really too. Banks another one in.
Another good decision by Soa. Her player was closing out to her off balance. And so then elected to drive it in and was very successful.
And that's the desperation shown in a big game like this. Jump ball forced. Australia had 39 assists in their last game against Lebanon. That's the most of any team so far combined in this Asia Cup. start the game with 6 already tonight. Bibby, back to Ellis. Chloe Bibby likes the look of it. Corner takes the rebound. She's been super composed, the 25-year-old. And again, the referees have been quite busy to start this game. Japan in the bonus, Australia with the 4 team fouls. Goes over Corner's head, she just keeps it in. Very good awareness. Now the shot clock in single digits. Gets it up to Anri Hoshi. That is all money! Big time shot from Anri Hoshi. She's attempted a few already. 2 shots to come here for Australia. Abby Ellis at the line. She's had a great start to this tournament. She came in as an injury replacement for Madison Rochi. Started off with 8 points and 9 assists against the Philippines, and then against Lebanon yesterday, 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists.
Well, you don't lose any speed when she comes on for Steph Reed. They both can power the ball up the floor. Corner to Hoshi. Does she go for another 3? Drives in this time over Bibby, and 1 more to come. She's stepping up big time, Anri Hoshi. Through the Australian defenders. And we don't see that very often where they go all the way to the basket. They haven't shot many free throws all of this series so far, and so to get their finish and get an and 1, nice way to mix things up.
Australia's lead cut to 3. 1 second difference, or just about equal between shot clock and game clock. Japan get away, but there was a foul. 2 shots to come.
Well, you have to say the referees are really calling this game tightly. They're any little, and I feel like they're almost protecting the ball handler a little bit more than we've seen in some of the other games. And so again, that's an adjustment the players have to make. The coaches have to make sure that they're, talking about that and making the players aware.
So Reed comes in for Ellis for this last 13 seconds. See if Australia can try to create something in offense after these Yabu free throws. Yabu's been in hot form.
She has.
Bibby collects the rebound off the missed free throw. Reed to Akuzo. Back to Reed. Clock ticks down to 3. Akuzo beats the buzzer! A good finish to the first term for Australia. No surprises here, but we do have a game on our hands. At the end of the first quarter, it's Australia 26, leading Japan 22. Let's take a look at this last bit of motion. A no-look pass from Reed in the end, and Tina Akuzo baked it in.
And that's why you sub Steph Reed in for that last play of the game, so that she can do exactly what she did out there.
So we get to take a breath. A frenetic and frantic first quarter, as we expected from these two teams. And the stats shows both teams are shooting it pretty well.
They are, and it's a high-quality basketball game right now. There's not been that many turnovers. I feel like they're both pushing the ball really well, running hard. Some great three-point shooting from both teams, and it is, as the score indicates, a high-quality game.
So Australia lead by 4 at the end of the first term, but it's been tough going because Japan have bit back to everything they've thrown at them so far. And likewise, the same for Australia. They've had to come back from Japan's attempts as well.
Well, that's right. It seemed like when one team shot a 3, the other one answered straight away, and you know, Australia got out to maybe a 6-point lead there, but Japan certainly wasn't going to let that worry them or you know, slow them down at all, and so they've come out, they've steadied, and we've got ourselves a 4-point game at quarter time.
You can scan the QR code to get the Courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball.
Monica Okoye's on the court now for her first minute.
So every person on the Japan roster being used.
The Opals have elected to go back with their starting 5 at the start of this quarter.
Great atmosphere here in Shenzhen. Second term tipping off. Australia 26 leading Japan 22. Nanako Tono gets them up to a perfect start. Cuts the margin to 1 instantly. Reed on the move to George. Instant response, just like we were saying, Rory.
Exactly. If you can do it, I can do it as well.
5 points for Kayla George.
Tanaka joins the party! Okay, which one of the Australian players is going to answer back this time? What a great display of shooting by both teams.
54% up against 38% from the line, from the 3-point line. Fowler goes inboard, gets a settler.
Steph Reed is just an elite facilitator. The passes that she makes, the court vision that she sees. I tell you what, if you're a teammate of hers, you've got to be open. You've got to think, if I'm open, I'm going to get the ball.
Guarding Tanaka at the moment, just hit a massive 3. Gave it to Mauli. Found a way in. The shot was short. Borlay's off and running. Heavy collision between George and Mauli in the backcourt. George responds quicker. She finds herself in the same spot. Doesn't get the same result. Fowler, though, with the putback. Fowler with 9 points for the game already. She's had a really solid tournament. I feel like I'm a broken record saying that about all the Australian players. The same goes for the Japanese players too. Mauli fouled on the 3. See them head to the free throw line again. They're not the fouls you want to be giving away if you're Australia.
Well, and when Japan has gone to the line, they've been very efficient so far in the first 2 games. 80%, 20 from 25 shots.
Stephanie Mauli at the line. Mentioned the 6 points against the Philippines earlier on. Against Lebanon, she finished with 5 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Gets the friendly roll for the first one. She's going to have a big day ahead up against the Australian bigs. One more to come. Australia up by 3. And she makes all 3. The free throw shooting continues to serve Japan well. 2-point ball game. Here is Steph Reed. Who does she look for this time? Finds Fowler, who finds George. Kicks it back out to Blitzars and then Borlay's. Beautiful pass from George, and Borlay's finishes it off.
That was a great connection. Kayla knew where she should be going past that ball. Borlay's was able to scoop it up and finish strongly.
Tanaka wants some movement. Gets a screen from Takada. Mauli now. Going to work on Steph Reed. She got the mismatch and took full advantage. Quick movement here by Australia. Fowler spinning, can't get the score. Tanaka. Mauli. And now Takada. They let the shot clock tick down here, Japan. Tanaka gets on the move, it gets cut off. It's in Kayla George's hands. Olays catches it just before it went out. Reed. Fowler in open space. Mauli with a solid rebound. You can hear Corey Gaves yelling, go, go, go. Okoye, again, Reed, caught up against the bigs.
Yeah, not a lot Reed could do. Good decision by Okoye to just go inside and do that nice little reverse layup.
Scores level. What can Australia do here? Back-to-back baskets from Japan. Both teams shooting excellently well from two-point range. Blitzarves. Shot clock violation. A bit of momentum swing in the way of Japan, so Australia look to their bench of Courtney Woods and Chloe Bibby will replace Isabel Borlase and Sarah Blitzarves. Okoye comes off, replaced by Miyazawa for Japan. Tanaka to Takada. Back to her point guard. George takes the rebound. Bibby to Reed. And they go again. Good cut by Fowler. It does get cut off. Reed somehow captured it, handed it off to Bibby. The shot fell short. Tanaka changes the pace. And Takada, don't leave her alone.
Especially not in that trailing three spot.
Australia breathe a sigh of relief as she misses. Bibby to George. Getting to work on her opposite captain. It's good defense by Takada. Mauli, one way, then the other. Wow. Stephanie Mauli gets Japan in the lead. Paul Goris needs to call a timeout. It is all Japan at the moment.
Well, I feel with Stephanie Mauli, we haven't seen that sort of real athleticism and agility too much in the first two games, and she is bringing it in today's game against Australia.
We'll head into the Australia timeout and see what Paul Goris has to say to his players.
On any third side action, as the ball's coming here, start pinning down, curling and coming back and we get the back cut. Or as it's coming, we want 45 cut, then do the dribble handoff or two back cuts and we get it. But the ball's going to start changing sides. If we're in circle, remember they're going to trap it, kick ahead, hand back, next action as we throw it back. Then it's job of taking care of it. Remember, we're in switches, we've got to be flat on our switches and then take it down. When it's slice, they come up, they want to slip the screen, so stay with when they go slice, okay? Here we go. Yeah, slice and smash, yeah.
Very precise instructions from Coach Paul Goris. Just going over some of their offensive movement and reads, and if they don't get this, they'll try that, but he wanted to make sure it got to the second side, make sure it got reversed around, and then defensively just to make, this is what they're going to do, this is what we need to do to combat it. So a timely timeout just to sort of stem the momentum which you feel Japan has right now.
Yeah, 6-0 run from Japan before that timeout. 4 points in that 6-point run were from Mauli.
And she took a hard knock with her and Kayla George colliding at center court, but she's certainly gotten up and brushed herself off from that.
Let's see what Australia can do here to respond and get their lead back. Reed dishes it to Fowler. Woods dumps it in. Japan read it best. They get the stop.
Well, Japan have just been, their hands have been so active. So they're really up and in, they're moving their hands, they're talking, and they're really looking for deflections.
Kawhi. Getting to work. Hands it to Mauli. He's got the hot hand at the moment. Steps back on Bibi.
Why not?
And Mauli is lights out at the moment.
Mauli is doing it all in different ways.
8-0 run for Japan. Reed pulls up. Akuzo, strong rebound, gets the putback. That's a good settler.
Really good, strong rebound by Akuzo.
Miyazawa to Kawhi. Mauli, 10 points already for her in this game. It's been a different contributor every game for Japan. You just never know who to focus in on. Takada, the captain, a good rebound. Kawhi can reset. Mauli left alone.
No! No way, Mauli! First of all, it's a spin move inside, then it's a step back, now a three-point shot.
13 points for the Japan number 3, Stephanie Mauli. Foul called. There are lots of fouls in the first. It's been less of a theme here so far. Kawhi committing it on that occasion. Let's take a look at this sweet release from Stephanie Mauli. 4 from 5 from the field, 13 points for the game. She's put Japan on her back and got them out to a lead of 5 points.
And while she's played solidly the first 2 games, we haven't seen this from her in the first 2 games.
Taking control. Bourne gets her first minutes, can't glide in for the points. Akuzo gets fouled on the putback. She's had some really nice moments, Atina Akuzo.
Well, really important moments where she's been a real presence inside at both ends of the court, especially defensively.
So Australia elects to put Soa back on the floor and Bibi will take a rest. Satina Akuzo at the line. 6 points for the game now for her. Alongside the 5 rebounds. She's been really active. Second one falls short. Australia get the ball back, although the refs want to check. They're going to correct it. It's going to be a white ball, Japan ball. Well, the replay. Close, very close.
Well, the referees confer, and if one has a better angle than the other, then they can make that call or overrule, as was the case in this instance.
Takashi gets it to Tanaka. Miyazawa on the move. Has a look herself, but why not? 44 plays 38, 2.5 minutes left in the opening half. Reed goes herself, knocks it down. Steph Reed has stood tall for this team.
Well, she just drives in. She has a look around for everybody else to see who she can pass it to, and when there is nobody and she's open, she's taken and nailed a couple of those mid-range jump shots.
Miyazawa now wants some movement. Again, it's Reed ending up defending the taller player. Tokashi left alone, and she knocks it down!
Japan just have an answer for everything at the moment. The Opals have to hold their nerve.
Bourne kicks it back out. It's cut off by Tanaka. Tokashi, Miyazawa, Kono. Finds a way through. 9-point lead for Japan now. A minute 27 left in the second. A timeout call on the floor. Japan are feeling it. Great dish from Miyazawa, and then Kono. Beautiful step through to the basket. And then Tokashi. Lights out from long range from Ramu Tokashi. And Japan open up a 9-point buffer over Australia. Let's head into the timeout.
If their team start pulling the chair after one bounce goes, once we get it over against the Blair, dive Z, look for the high low. If not, I want to get up to the nose action Z, get out, as she comes back cut on the backside. So we're looking high low. If not, dribble hard out, we get the backdoor layup.
Giving his team some instructions about the zone when Japan play the zone and what they want to look at doing. And I feel like if you hear from the sidelines, they're showing a zone, and then all of a sudden you can hear the coach, Corey Gaines, going, go, go. Yeah. And then they switch into their one-on-one defense.
Minute 27 left. Can Australia cut back the 9-point deficit and finish off the opening half on a high note? There it is again from Corey Gaines. The go, 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 go. Woods couldn't find a way through it again. Japan come up with the stop. Tanaka gets it back from Tokashi. Kono. Tokashi finds Tanaka once again, goes baseline. Mauli. Woods right there with her this time. Wow. But still, she finds a way through.
She is so impressive in this game. The athleticism that she showed there and the control of her body was amazing.
As you can see, just 1 point in the first. She has exploded in this second for 14 points. She's been the difference. That's better from Australia. Board gets it through.
So they need a nice basket like that, a settling basket.
The noise from the Japanese bench is immense at the moment. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock to round out the half here for Japan. They lead 51-42. Tanaka. Kono. Miyazawa was wide open. They turn it over. And then a foul. Committed by Kono. 1 second to go. Corey Gaines having a nice word to her. Such an encouraging coach. So Woods to inbound it here for Australia. A second left. It's going to be a catch and shoot. Reed thought she was fouled on the receiving. But it's been all Japan in this second term. And at halftime, they open up a lead. Japan 51, Australia 42. Well, what a quarter from the Akatsuki 5. A massive performance led by Stephanie Mauli. And you'll see the shooting here. They've already hit 9 threes, 9 from 2-point range as well. Australia really struggling from long range, and it's shown in this second term.
Well, I feel like Japan's had such a good mixture of shooting the 3-ball and also penetrating, getting their feet and getting to the foul line. So they've done a great job of mixing that up. And it's something that I'm sure Australia will talk about. But we look at the top scores there. Mauli, 15 points, leads all teams with that number. And I think Takada and Tokashi, 6 points each. And for Australia, Fowler with 9 points.
So that's how the top scorers sit. It was all Stephanie Mauli, and we'll see that in the best players from the second quarter as well. She had 1 point in the first term and then exploded for 14 in the second, but she had lots of company. Tono loaded up to start the tone and set the tone for the second term with that 3-point shot. Australia did what they could. They tried to find inside shots, Japan were too strong in this second turn. They flexed their muscles. They outscored Australia 29-16, Laurie.
Well, and there we see the player on the screen, Mawuli, with her 15 points, and she was pumped, and that's so she should be. And outside, inside, spinning around. She is just really motivated in this game. We haven't seen that necessarily in the first two games, but it's good to see, and certainly in the second half of that second quarter, Japan's momentum just kept going and going. So it's something that the Australian team are going to have to address at halftime, just to get their mojo back and get some better defensive stops, focus on their defense. 51 points for halftime for Japan is a massive amount.
Don't go anywhere. Will Japan continue their winning ways, Australia, or can the Opals bounce back?
This isn't a moment. It's a time unlike any before.
It's not a request, not a maybe, not a someday.
This is now. Feel our presence, built on strength
and drive. Not rising, we are arriving. Not hoping, but owning.
This isn't a moment, it's movement. Constant, relentless.
Every cut, every pass, every shot.
Earned. Taken. Undeniable. The future, it's already here.
Forged in sweat,
Ruled by queens.
When we move, the whole game shifts.
And we're unstoppable in all directions. We own the game.
The volume out there is increasing as the shot clock ticks down to 1. Park Ji-han beats the buzzer.
Park Ji-han showed all the poise in the world.
Hogg finds some space, glides in. Oh, denied by McGoldrick.
She just came out of nowhere to reject that shot.
Oh, Zar on the reverse. Very nice finish. Oh, off and running. She has Hong up ahead once again, and she is in the right spot, right time. Sugapog gets it back to De Jesus, puts it up. Japan escape once again. Her best points of the Asia Cup. Let's get it off in time, reads the buzzer. It's all Australia once again. Here is Shenzhen. Can De Jesus take advantage? Gets it to Anima, denied by Mawuli. Boulays with the ranging arm, swats it away. It's still in dispute. The Barn wins 3. She's gonna put it up.
Absolute highlight. The coach, the bench were saying, put it up, and that she didn't.
Welcome back to Shenzhen, where it's Japan leading Australia by 9 points half-time in an Asia Cup grudge match. Laurie, the top scorer for Australia is Alex Fowler with 9 points. She's had 11 points in each of her first 2 games of the tournament and is already up to 9 tonight.
Well, she's done a great job of reading what the defense is giving her, and you can see there good high-low action. She finished strongly. She's had a couple of 3-point shots, and you know, she's an athlete. She's strong, but I really like what she's doing out there. She just needs to continue that and bring a few teammates along with her.
Good finish there from Alex Fowler. Right, she needs the teammates to come with her. Well, we've talked about this Japan top scorer before the break. It is Stephanie Mauli with 15 points. Only 1 point in the first quarter, then burst out of the blocks for 14 second quarter points. She was unstoppable, Laurie.
Well, she did it so many different ways. She had a couple of, went to the free throw line, shot a 3, but it was her explosiveness off the dribble that really made a difference.
Absolutely, she was fantastic. A huge range of shots in this game. We mentioned we wanted a bit more aggression for her after she came out with 5 points against Lebanon and then 6 points against the Philippines. Today, she has shown what she is made of. 5 from 6 from the field as well, so she's barely missed. And the Australian defenders have just had such a hard time stopping her.
Well, and she just looks like she's so focused out there. You know, she's come out with I don't know if it's a point to prove or just maybe she's taken a backward step the other games. Other players have stepped up in the different games, and so maybe she's gone, it's my turn, I need to do this. But she has been very, very impressive in that first half.
So halftime here in Shenzhen, Japan 51 leading Australia 42. Of course, coming up next is China hosting Korea here in the Shenzhen Sports Arena. We're expecting a big crowd here for that game as well. It's been a great atmosphere here in the opening half. Japan, it's been all them so far. After the second term, they took over the game, 29 points to 16, thanks largely to the work of Stephanie Mauli. They look like the Japan we know and love. They're shooting the threes, but they're also getting more inside looks than they usually do. Usually they're such a reliant team beyond the perimeter, but going inside, they've looked great, and it's been hard for Australia to stop them.
Well, what I like about them right now is that they're playing a really fast-paced game, but they're playing that with efficient pace, so they're not overdoing things. They've taken care of the ball relatively well, still only 6 turnovers, so their spacing has been really good. But I think one of the keys as well is the zone that they're showing, and then on their coach's instruction when he yells go, go, and into man-to-man, it's just causing the Australian team a little bit of difficulty. And I'm sure they will have talked about that at halftime, and maybe Japan will change their strategy. Who knows? That's all what the coaches are there for. But they've been really efficient in what they've done, Japan, and really good spacing of the court.
Mentioned Mauli with the 15 points. Tokashiki and Tanaka and Hoshi each have 6 as well. Everyone in Japan uniform has contributed tonight. Everyone's played on the floor, and as a result, they lead by 9 points at halftime. But we switch our attention to Australia now. They kept up with Japan at the start of the game. You can see Fowler leading the way with 9 points. Akuzo's been strong with the 5 rebounds, and Reed's already dished off 5 assists. So there's definitely positive for the Opals, Laurie.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a whole half to go. And as we've known from Japan in the last 2 games, they can get a lead and then almost lose a bit of focus and let a team come right back into it. I'm not sure that'll happen this game, but certainly that's something they'll need to work with, and Australia will know that. But they have to do their own thing. They're a strong team. They're ranked number 2 in the world for a reason. Steph Reed looks really good with the ball in her hands, just her decision making, her creating for others. When they're not open, she can take that herself. Boards by Akuzo we talked about. So, they just have to stick to what they're doing. They want to play a running style game too. They play a lot of 5-out, sort of positionless basketball, and they want to continue to grow with that sort of game style. But defensively, as I mentioned, 51 points is a large amount for a team to score.
Yeah, exactly right. And Paul Goris has mentioned how good they have been defensively to start this tournament. That's where it all starts for them, isn't it?
Well, it does. If you can come up with a good stop, be really proactive on defense. I mean, it's tough against the Japanese team because they have been spacing the floor well. They have been moving well. They've been moving well at pace. But it's just something, you know, these teams have that sort of style that you've got to be ready for it. And it does start at the defensive end. They get a couple of stops. They can play their running style and put the pressure back on Japan.
Corey Gades in the last game, he said he took a bit of responsibility because against the Philippines, they obviously got out to that handy lead, and then the Philippines, they came back and closed the game, and then Japan only won in the end by 3 points. He said he took a bit of responsibility for leaving the bench players out there. We were sort of questioning in the game why he hadn't brought potentially the starters like Takada, who was having a really good game out there. So I wonder if he's learned from that sort of mistake and if he uses his bench a bit differently.
Well, we've seen both teams use their benches fairly, you know, liberally in the course of this game so far. And I think as the game gets closer and closer to the end, then you'll see who, you know, the coaches really want out on the floor in crunch time. And, you know, there's a lot of different players for each team that could be. Who's playing well at the time? What do they need? Do they need defense? Do they need offense? So it'll be interesting, very, very highly interesting and exciting second half coming up.
Absolutely, 9 points separate these two teams at the moment. In the 2023 Asia Cup, it was Japan getting the win against Australia by 25 points. So Australia will want to get revenge for that. Japan have had a good record against Australia in Asia Cup battles. This really is a rivalry to savour. And it's all to play for right now. Of course, as we mentioned at the start, not just a win, but a potential top place finish in the group, Laurie.
Well, and that's just so important when you go into the crossovers and into the semifinals and who you're going to meet in that. So to finish top, as we said, is likely means that you will not meet China potentially in the semifinals and may not meet them until the finals if you continue along the right path.
Scan the QR code to get the Courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights, and stay up to date with the world of international basketball. Big second half coming up between Australia and Japan. The second-ranked Australia up against the 9th-ranked Japan. Corey Gaines just addressing his players for one final time before they go out and contend with this Opals lineup, who has had an excellent tournament so far. 2 70-plus point wins over Lebanon and the Philippines. Japan, they only beat those two teams by single digits.
It'll be interesting to see what sort of adjustments the coaching staff from Australia have made for this half.
Welcome back to Shenzhen in China for the second half between Japan and Australia. Japan 51 leading Australia 42. Blitzers can't get the putback. Julia Montesano and Laurie Chiswick joining you in commentary. It's been a fast, frenetic pace game right from the start, and it looks like it's continuing to be the theme here. Sarah Blitzarves at the line. Australia need to capitalise on their free throws if this game continues in the theme that it has been super close. Takada's third foul. She remains out there. Blitzarves coming off 11 points and 7 rebounds against Lebanon to go along with 3 assists. Tanaka gets cut off. Blitzarves was on Mawuli's heels. She gets it back. And more free throws to come for Sarah Blitzarves.
You could just see Steph Reed. Well, first of all, it was a great steal by Sarah back on the defensive end, but once she got it into Steph Reed's hands, you could just see her waiting to see what the defense, make them commit before she passed that ball into Blitzarves.
So you can see the intent of the Australian team coming out of the timeout, going hard at the basket. This time, both free throws go down to Sarah Blitzarves. 51 plays 45. Tanaka now for Japan. Hoshi. Miyazawa. Takada found some space.
It wasn't far enough out. She wasn't behind the three-point line.
I know. Borlase, here's the running game from Australia. Too hot from Borlase. Opportunity goes begging. Here's Hoshi. We know what she can do from long range. Kicks it to Mauli with the hot hand at the moment. Rolling on Fowler. George, another rebound. Blitzars with eyes up ahead. Gets it back to her captain, and then Reed. Already the 5 assists for this game. Oh, beautiful dish to Fowler. She can't finish it off. She gets her own rebound. Now she needs some help to get the ball out of her hands. Jump ball call, Japan ball.
It was a great slice through the key by Fowler. She just couldn't finish it.
So a Japan ball. Just free throws so far in this term. From Sarah Blitzarves. Mauli. Here's Takada. And now Tanaka. Beautiful roll in.
It's not often you see Steph Reed get beaten.
Takada takes her tally up to 8. Tanaka gets her tally up to 8, sorry. It'll be an Australia ball. And Japan will bring some size in off the bench. Ramu Tokashiki replaces the captain, Maki Takada. Here's George, speaking of size. Finds Fowler, back to Reed. Borlase on the move. Offensive foul. So Kayla George commits the foul. The screen there on Tanaka. Tanaka's been controlling the point super well for Japan. George cuts it off.
Good read by Kayla George. She knew that Tokashiki was going to try and catch it in that elbow area to start off their offensive set.
See Paul Gorris and his assistant Cheryl Chambers on screen there. Wonder what they've got in store. Tokashiki finds Tanaka. Gets swatted away from her, and Australia come up with a stop. It's what we mentioned, Laurie, in the halftime break. Starts with the defensive mindedness for Australia.
Certainly does, and they've had active hands there. Lots of talk.
Reed's been excellent. 6 points and 6 assists. Who does she find this time? Borlase. Gets around the defense, then wants a bit of help. Goes up herself. It goes through hands. It ends up with Kayla George and then Blitzarves. Good hustle there by the Opals. George. Fouled as she received it.
All I can say is that was chaotic in there. It was like volleyball. And that pass to Kayla George, she had her eyes up on the target. Really good look.
So Kayla George at the line. Minami Abu comes back into the game. Just the 1 point for her so far. George knocks down the first free throw. She's just signed with a new team back in Australia, the Southside Flyers, who are based in Melbourne. Tanaka. Miyazawa. Swatted away by Fowler. 53 plays 47. Yabu from the baseline. Goes all the way back to Tanaka. Driving hard. Woods comes up with the rebound. Reed, eyes up ahead as you'd expect. Gets it back from Woods. George gets it back. Again, it goes through hands. It ends up being an Australian ball.
Well, a little pick and pop from Kayla George there, wide open on that shot. Wasn't able to connect, but a good shot to take. See her heading to the bench now, and Akuzo coming in to replace her.
I think that's a nice sub. Akuzo's shown some good signs in her minutes. 6 points and 5 rebounds. Good aggression to add to the Australia lineup. Reed steps in, knocks that one down.
I think that's the third shot she's taken and made from that exact spot.
They close the margin inch by inch. Both teams shooting really evenly from 2-point range. 53% for Japan, 48% for Australia. Overall, Japan with the better clip from the field. Yabu, she's been lights out from long range. Not that time though.
Great block out by Alex Fowler.
Akuzo finds Reed. Driving in this time, Steph Reed. Just falls short. She's been leading this team by example. Steph Reed. Mauli. Holding foul in the background there.
Takashi did a good job of recognizing that she had Courtney Woods on her back and backed her down in there and held her position really strongly. Woods just had no option other than to foul her.
So subs on for both teams. Abby Ellis and Maya Kawai come onto the floor. Yabu. That's what she does best.
She came off of those 2 screens on that out-of-bounds play, ready to catch and let it fly so quickly.
Woods, can she respond? Goes out of bounds. Australia get another opportunity. 5 minutes 13 remaining in the third term.
Watch this basket, the Yabu, she just catches it in rhythm. Little bank shot.
Ellis to blitz subs. Controls it well. And then Japan met her right at the basket. And off they go again. Mauli. Miyazawa, Kawai. So patient with it, Maya Kawai. And Australia come up with a stop. Just too hot for Minami Yabu. Good. Ended up being a block there from Tokashi. She's got such length under the rim. Fowler wide open, goes inboard to Akuzo, shows and goes and breaks it home. Cuts the margin to 5. Off Kawhi's leg, but a foul call before for Alice. Point guards of both teams so super strong. Ellis and Reed for the Opals and Kawhi and Tanaka for Japan. Here is Kawhi driving, dishing, but Ellis cut it off. Great active hands from Abby Ellis.
Good anticipation of where that next pass was going to.
Good opportunity here for Australia.
Oh,
Mauli, with hands just as active, has 2 Australia players ahead of her, so has to stop. Kawhi, open space. Yabu kicks the rebound back to Kawhi. Good desperation there from Japan. Tokashki kicks it back out. The hot hand of Stephanie Mauli.
Wow.
It misses.
Australia were let off the hook there with a couple of good shots, some good looks from Japan.
Woods now finds Fowler in open space. Alex Fowler. Akuzo couldn't hold on to the rebound. Japan off and running again. Kawhi, good step there on Ellis. Tokashki in the face of Akuzo. It fell short. Not often you see a shot fall that short from Japan.
You have to say that the scoring has really dried up this quarter for both of the teams.
9 points to 5 in favor of Australia at the moment. Meanwhile, Japan just came off a 29-16 second quarter, so you're right, very different. Australia haven't landed a three this quarter. Corner takes the rebound. Just assesses her options. Kuribayashi rolls. It gets swatted away once again, Alice. Back at the top to Akuzo. Scoops it to Woods. 5-point margin between the two teams. Akuzo fouled on the catch.
Team Japan, number 52.
It's been a game of inches. Every player is wearing each other like a glove. Isabel Board comes on to replace Alex Fowler. Mauli comes off for Japan, replaced by Okoye. Satina Akuzo heads to the line for two. Third foul for Miyazawa. 8 points and 5 rebounds for Akuzo.
With 2.5 minutes to go and Japan in the bonus now, that's something Australia will want to look at, see if they can attack and get themselves to the foul line.
4-point margin now. 2.5 minutes left in the third. Satina continues to cut it down. What does Kono do here to respond? Backs out, finds Toto. Goes baseline. Kono for three, lights it up!
Toto did a good job of keeping her dribble alive, assessing the situation until she found Kono wide open.
Akuzo looking for some support. Goes herself, Akuzo! And again, she fires the free throw line.
Good result for Akuzo. Put it to the floor, knowing that they're in the bonus situation. Any foul, send her to the line.
Sweet shot here from Norika Kono. She's been super impressive this tournament. 4 points against Lebanon, then 9 points against the Philippines. Today she's up to 5 points and 5 rebounds. Kuzo makes the first one.
Kuzo's up to 11 points and 5 rebounds. She's playing a really significant role in her 13 minutes.
Chloe Bibby back out there for Australia. Corner, what does she do here? Guarded by Reed. Shot clock down in single digits, still with Nonika Kono. Now Toto finds a way inboard. Great defense from the Australians, left her nowhere to go. Akuzo brings the ball down. Reed. Steph Reed steps up. It's a 1-point ball game. A minute left in the third. What a game this has turned out to be. We knew it would deliver. Okoye fading away. Kuzo again, clutch on the boards. A chance for Australia to regain the lead with a minute left in the third. Reed has been immense. Finds Bourne wide open. Isabel Bourne! It just rattles out. Corner now. Can give Japan some breathing space. A hustle for the rebound. It's going to be an Australian ball. A great stint from Zatina Akuzo. She comes off for a rest. She dishes it off to Steph Reed there. And they hit their first three of the quarter. It comes with 1 minute to go. A big moment for Steph Reed to step up. Here she goes again. Finds Bourne. And a foul, so a chance to go to the line for Australia. Toribayashi tangling up with George. That's her third foul.
That early foul trouble for Japan has caused them to probably move their rotations around a little bit, but Australia have done a good job of taking advantage of that and get themselves to the foul line this last couple of minutes where they're shooting at 84%.
All tied up here in Shenzhen. They're going to look for the last shot of the third quarter. Can they regain the lead here, Australia? Reed dishes it off to Bourne. Has to get the shot up. There was no call. Shot clock violation. 5.3 seconds remaining. Advantage Japan now. Refs will just make absolute sure. Let's go in to hear what they're saying.
We're going to review for the shot for the main court. Okay, we shot exactly for the shot clock. Explain. Yeah. After explain, I need to. Okay. Yes. One more. Main camera. One more. Yes. Normal speed. Normal speed. Yes. Let's go. No need. Keep go. Yes. Keep go. Okay. Get ready. Stop. One more. Okay. No. One more film. Okay, 7 seconds. 69. 6.9. Okay, after review, shot main court 6.9. Okay, game court return to 6.9 seconds. 6.9 seconds. Hi, yes. 6.9. Okay. Yes, good. Substitution.
Great access from the referees. Australia makes a sub. Ellis replacing Bibby. 6.9 seconds now remaining for Japan to regain their lead. And they go with speed. Toto puts a shot up. It falls short. We are all tied up in Shenzhen for this massive game between Japan and Australia. What a finish we have coming up. Don't go anywhere. End of the third quarter, Japan 59, Australia 59. Well, the scoring certainly dried up a little bit, Laurie, but it was so entertaining, continued to be back and forth. Australia got the momentum back. There's still still struggling in the three-point column, but the ones they have hit have been big.
Oh, well, that was a great quarter. Even though it wasn't low-scoring quarter, it was a great quarter for Australia to come up with some really crucial stops, stop the flow of scoring for Japan and pick some things up themselves. And I really like the composure of the Australian team. You know, they weren't in panic mode at all, being down by 9 points. And as we talked, I think the first 3 or 4 minutes was just free throws that were shot to anybody's score. So a good job by Australia to stay in touch and tie this ball game up.
They went on a 17-8 scoring run in that third term after Japan outscored them 29 points to 16, and that's what good teams do. It's why they're the second-ranked team in the world for a reason, and it's why Japan are ranked 9th. It's been a good battle, and I think it will be a great finish, Laurie.
Oh, well, I mean, anything could happen in this fourth quarter. Japan's shooting dried up a little bit in that third quarter, but no doubt they'll be going and looking to have a run. I don't think they'll fade away like they have in other games. I think we'll see it right down to the wire.
I like the starting five that Corey Gaines has got on the floor for Japan. Takada, we didn't see her much towards the end of the game last night against the Philippines. She's out there leading her team. Mauli had the hot hand in the second term and got the momentum going. And Australia, well, they've gone with a strong, solid starting five as well. A tall one too. Reed, Woods, Blitzards, George and Bourne facing corner. Tanaka, Takada, Mauli and Tokashiki. Fourth period coming up. It's going to be a massive finish here in Shenzhen. 59 points apiece. Steph Reed goes in straight away and gets the score. Australia back in front.
We know that she can do that. She used her arm, but she just controls her body so well, Steph Reed.
Mauli fouled as she went through.
And we didn't really see much of Mauli in that after having played such a crucial role in the first half. She rather went quiet there in the third quarter, so it's good to see that she has stepped up and started the fourth quarter with a strong drive to the basket.
She has 15 points for the game. She's 5 from 8 from the field, 4 from 5 from the line. She makes the first one. Great atmosphere in the stadium. It all came to a hush.
It did.
The crowd riding every moment. Reed to Bourne. Blitzards shows and goes. Still with Sarah Blitzards. That's a strong move. 8 points for Sarah Blitzards. Tanaka, Reed wearing it like a glove. What a battle that has been. Corner finds Mauli once again. Shot clock down to 3. Does she realize that she goes in for it now? It's a violation.
That's a really good stop for the Australian team. Their defense was really tight. Steph Reed, she just stayed absolutely connected.
So great to see her earn her opportunity at this level. Steps through, gets taken off her though. Kono, Mauli, Takada, and now Tanaka. Getting on the move. Mauli, Tokashiki back to Mauli. Goes in. Took a dive.
Nice.
It's going to be a Japan ball after Izzy Bourne steps on the line for the rebound. Paul Goris waiting with anticipation on the sideline. Tanaka found a way through. Woods playing the rebound. Reed. 13 points and 6 assists for Steph Reed. Blitz serves to George. Off the foot. Tense time to be a coach of a national team, especially in a game like this. Paul Goris and Corey Gaines thinking about what comes next. Blitzers, wow. Excellent move!
Really quick shot by Sarah Blitzovs.
Back-to-back baskets for Sarah Blitzovs. Tanaka, quick speed. Shot was too hot, and now Reed can showcase her speed. Blitzovs has got the hot hand at the moment. It falls short again. Tanaka, corner, wide open. It falls back to her. And Japan can reset. Tanaka to Takada. Bourne buries it in her hands. Every rebound, every shot, everything's so crucial in this game. Reed now. Fouled. So hard to control her when she's coming at you with so much speed like that.
Well, and the thing about Reed is that she has a change of pace. She has great change of direction. She's got elite court vision. So she is difficult to defend.
So Mauli and Woods come off the floor. Yabu and Fowler enter the game. George wide open. Fowler, good hustle to keep with it, straight off the bench. Bourne gets the pass away somehow. That was athletic. Back to Reed. Shot clock down to 3. Steph Reed. One way, then the other goes in. Couldn't get the finish. Tanaka trying to get through all the green singlets. Finds the lane and finds the bottom of the net.
What a battle it is between the 2 point guards, Tanaka and Steph Reed.
Here they are again, one-on-one. 2 point ball game. George. Fowler collected it. Blitzovs, she's had a really good start to the 4th. Turn around. Not the jumper she required. Tanaka trying to get around Kayla George. Reed with the active hands, has no one ahead of her. Has to slow it down. Board. Miyazawa fouls George. And I believe that might be her 4th. So Borlase and Akuzo come on for Australia, and Toto replaces Kono.
And yes,
for Japan.
it is her 4th foul.
Japan haven't had to contend with foul trouble too much in this series. They've kept her out there for now, and Kawhi is going to give Tanaka a much-needed rest. Tanaka with the 10 points for the game. Akuzo was a solid presence out there for Australia. 12 points and 6 rebounds. She's back on the floor at the moment. Bourne finds her way through. Again, the shot just falls short. Australia are getting really good looks, just not finding the bottom of the net. Takada gets it to Kawhi. And an uncharacteristic error gives Australia the ball back.
And that's her 5th foul.
So they elected to keep her on. She fouled Reed, and now we don't get to see Miyazawa for the rest of the game. She finishes with 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Five minutes left in this game.
This game has certainly lived up to all the expectations that it had.
2 points in it. Who will come up with the crucial win to go undefeated in the group. Borlase puts the ball to the floor, onto the hoop.
What a great finish by Izzy Borlase.
Takada thought about the three, so too did Kawhi. Back to her captain, they share it around. Can they find a way through? Semi back on Akuso, big denial! Borlase to Fowler, gets it back to Borlase. A dish to Fowler. She loses it. They get the ball back.
Really good cut by Fowler. Strong, just got the best of Takashi.
Reed from the baseline. Akuso has had a massive game. Fowler, back to Reed. Here's Borlase, one of the young guns of the Australian team. 1 second left, Woods has to shoot!
Courtney Woods! Clutch! So clutch, that shot left her hand as soon as it did, the shot clock went off.
4 minutes left, Australia all of a sudden out to a 7-point lead. Japan, they've unfortunately faded out in their first 2 games. They still managed to hold on and win. What can they do here against the Opals? Second ranked in the world. They've got to shoot at Kawhi. She can't respond. Shot clock violation. All the momentum with Australia.
Well, there's some second guessing going on right now, Japan. They just feel that scoreboard pressure that the Opals have just come at them.
Courtney Woods finds the bottom of the net. The bench gets right around her. What a finish coming up here in this game. 3 minutes 40 left, 70 plays 63. Second-ranked team in the world versus the 9th-ranked team, and it was an offensive foul from Australia. A big opportunity for Japan here to get some momentum back their way. It was their second quarter that opened up a nice lead for them to the tune of 9 points at halftime. Scores level at three-quarter time, and now Australia have the upper hand.
And I don't feel like it's that Japan has dropped their focus at all. I just think that the Australian team have really stepped up both defensively and their shot decisions.
A good stop there. Excellent defense on the baseline. Can Australia extend their biggest lead of the game? Corey Gaines as vocal as ever on the sidelines. We've been hearing him say, go, go, go throughout the game. There it is again. Borlase finds Fowler. This time it rolls in. A 7-0 run for the Australian team. They've scored 13 points in this fourth quarter. What can Japan do to respond here? Takashi wants to find Tanaka. Again, the shot clock down in single figures. Mauli, she might have to put up a quick shot here. Goes all the way in. That's better from Mauli.
There just wasn't a lot of movement from the Japan team that we've seen throughout this whole game. They were very stagnant.
Reed to Fowler to Borlase. She runs into the mind of Takashi and she's feeling the hit. Can Japan get back-to-back buckets here? Toto for three. All air. So Japan call a timeout. 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in this game. It has lived up to the hype, Laurie.
Oh my goodness, it absolutely has. At both ends of the court, the Australian team have really picked up their defense in this second half, and especially even in this last quarter. They've caused a few shot clock violations, and Japan just have nowhere to move right now. I'm sure this timeout is about what he wants to do, because they're probably going to need some three-point shots, especially Australia have the ball. 7 points, so yes, you're going to have to, I mean, they're a 3-point shooting team, but they really need to be able to have more movement. I thought they were really flat-footed and stagnant that last time, so I'm sure that's what the coach is talking about.
A 13-6 run in the fourth term for Australia. They have really come out and responded. I wonder what Paul Goris is saying to his troops at his timeout.
Well, he'd be talking about really specific things defensively. You know, we want to make sure that I think they've really shut down the Japanese options and want to reinforce that rebounds, one and done, nothing. And then when they do get the ball, play their trademark. If they can still run the floor for 2 minutes, and if they have nothing, then just pull it back and execute. The ball is so safe in Steph Reed's hands.
2 minutes and 7 seconds left. Who will go top of the group and remain undefeated? Go straight through to the semi-finals. Reed. She's controlling it well, as you mentioned, Laurie. Akuzo. Shot clock ticking down. Akuzo chucks it up. Gets the putback as well. Akuzo and Reed stepping up when it matters. One of 4 Australia players in double digits. Here goes Tanaka. Not this time.
That's it now. Australia want to use the clock. The shot clock is their friend.
Reed knows that. She's so calm with the ball in her hand. Blitzers had an excellent start to the fourth term. And now Steph Reed goes. She uses her speed and gets it at the basket to go.
Steph Reed has just been outstanding.
Offensive foul, everything going Australia's way.
Sarah Blitzov steps up, put her body on the line. She knew that Mawuli wasn't going to pass that ball, that she was going to go straight to the basket.
It ends up being an Australia ball from the baseline. 56 seconds left. They lead this one 76-65. Miyazawa with the 5 fouls. She can only watch on. Reed, 15 points, 8 assists for this game. She was staying in budget accommodation in Sydney in the 2023 Asia Cup. She's leading her team to victory. Sarah Blitzers converts the 3. 13 points for Blitzers. Tanaka fighting Tokashi, and she was fouled as she went up. Japan are fighting right until the end.
Well, what a mighty effort from the Australian Opals to come back from a 9-point deficit at halftime, creep their way back in at three-quarter time where it was all tied up, and then now have this lead, this massive lead.
So Rabu Tokashi at the line, 6 points and 2 rebounds for her in this game. It'll be interesting to see how Japan reassesses their tournament so far. A 4-point win over Lebanon on night 1, a 3-point win over the Philippines on night 2. It's going to be an Australia ball after that free throw.
But you have to say it's a much better showing from Japan in today's game compared to those other 2 games, and I give them full credit for that, and they needed to. They needed to come out and play this way.
So Australia, they had to fight hard for this one. Can Courtney Woods finish it off? Akuzo falls into the hands of Blitzarves. Mauli picks up the scraps. Puts up the Hail Mary, it's no good. Australia get one up over Japan here in Shenzhen. Final score, Australia 79, Japan 67. Recent history hasn't gone their way against Japan, but they get a big win to get a step closer to another Asia Cup podium finish. And who knows, maybe this year is the year they go all the way. Undefeated in the group now, Laurie. A big win for Australia. We knew what this meant. They had to fight back from a Japan run in the second term, and they've done it.
Well, that would be the goal all along. You don't want to think too far ahead, but the goal is to finish top of your pool. They've done that. They know they're straight into the semifinals. They won't know who their opposition is. They know they get an extra day off. They have the bye tomorrow. They've got then Thursday and then another day off. In fact, they've got the 3 days off. Perhaps that'll give Allie Wilson enough time to recover and get back on the court. But what an exceptional job by the Opals today. A really great team effort. They look like they're enjoying their basketball.
That's the most important thing. And Japan, commiserations to them. It was a much improved performance today. They've struggled all tournament. They have got 2 wins to come away with. They're going to go into the semi-finals, backing themselves in to try and make amends. So here's how the stats sit at the end of the game. It was great shooting from both teams in the end. Australia improved their three-point shooting by the end of the game, and the stats show just how close it was, Laurie.
Yeah, they do, and you see that both, especially Australia, took care of the ball. 12 turnovers is a great result. They out-rebounded the Japanese team, and I thought they were really made a concerted effort to go after the boards and get some second chance opportunities. Just even right at the end of the game, where Akuzo, as it went in, the buzzer went and she got the rebound and put it back in.
Well, we see her here getting the TCL Player of the Game awards, Atina Akuzo. 14 points, 4 from 6 from the field, 8 rebounds and 3 assists. She really stepped up when she was needed in this game. Well, the fourth quarter best players will show that Australia just took over 20 points to 8 to overrun Japan in the end, Laurie.
Well, and there were various players. I thought Sarah Blitzhaus played a big, major role. We could see her in that pull-up jump shot there. She was really focused. But to me, the player still in that fourth quarter that really was the court general in Steph Reed. The ball looked safe in her hands, whether she was scoring, whether she was distributing it. And the tempo that she played at was still so impressive. And then at the other end, the way she was guarding Tanaka, they were just going toe-to-toe. It was really fun to watch.
There's the putback at the end you were talking about from Akuzo. And this is what it means to Australia. Finishing undefeated on top of their group. They get a few days rest now to go ahead and recover. It means if the results go as they are tonight, they might avoid China in the semi-finals. And here's how it finishes, Laurie.
Yep, there we go. Number 1, Japan 2, Philippines 3, Lebanon 4. We know that Philippines and Lebanon still have a really important game to play to determine who's going to end up in 4th spot and have to go into the relegation game.
Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a thrilling game. Australia get the win, 79-67. Coming up next, China up against Korea in Shenzhen.